The Taliban announced a ban on opium poppy cultivation in April 2022, as part of their efforts to gain international recognition and legitimacy. The ban was enforced by the Taliban's religious police, who destroyed poppy fields and punished violators according to Sharia law. The ban was very effective, as satellite imagery and field research showed a dramatic reduction in poppy cultivation across most of Afghanistan's provinces. According to some estimates, the ban reduced Afghanistan's opium production by 95%, from 233,000 hectares in 2022 to about 11,000 hectares in 2023. The ban had severe economic and humanitarian consequences for many Afghans, especially the poor farmers who depended on opium as their main source of income. Opium was much more profitable than other crops, such as wheat or saffron, and provided a livelihood for millions of people. The ban also affected the local and regional markets, as opium was used as a form of currency and trade. The loss of income and livelihoods pushed many Afghans into deeper poverty and food insecurity, and increased the risk of displacement and migration. Some Afghans resorted to selling their children or body parts to survive. The ban also created a shortage of opium in the global market, which drove up the prices and profits for drug traffickers and smugglers. The ban did not address the underlying causes of opium production, such as poverty, insecurity, corruption, and lack of alternative development opportunities. Therefore, the ban was not a sustainable solution for the long-term eradication of opium in Afghanistan or the world. The international reaction to the Taliban opium ban was mixed, with some countries expressing support, some skepticism, and some condemnation. Here are some examples of the different responses. The United States welcomed the ban as a positive step, but also urged the Taliban to respect human rights, allow humanitarian access, and form an inclusive government. The U.S. also said it would continue to monitor the situation and work with its allies and partners to address the challenges and opportunities in Afghanistan. China praised the ban as a contribution to the global fight against drugs, and said it was ready to cooperate with the Taliban on counter-narcotics and other issues of common interest. China also called for the international community to respect Afghanistan's sovereignty and independence, and provide assistance and support to the Afghan people. Russia expressed doubt about the effectiveness and sustainability of the ban, and warned that it could lead to a surge in drug trafficking and terrorism in the region. Russia also said it would maintain contact with the Taliban, but not recognize them as the legitimate government of Afghanistan until they met certain conditions, such as ensuring security, human rights, and national reconciliation. Iran criticized the ban as a political move to gain recognition and legitimacy, and said it was not convinced by the Taliban's claims of reducing opium production. Iran also accused the Taliban of supporting drug smugglers and terrorists, and said it would continue to defend its borders and interests against any threats from Afghanistan. The United Nations acknowledged the ban as a significant achievement, but also expressed concern about the humanitarian and economic impact of the ban on the Afghan people, especially the poor and vulnerable. The UN also urged the Taliban to cooperate with the UN and other humanitarian agencies to provide relief and assistance to the affected populations, and to respect their human rights and dignity. How did Taliban enforce the ban? The Taliban enforced the ban on opium poppy cultivation by using their religious police, who destroyed poppy fields and punished violators according to Sharia law. The religious police, also known as the Ministry of Vice and Virtue, monitored the farmers and checked their crops for signs of opium poppy. They also used satellite imagery and drones to detect and locate poppy fields. If they found any poppy cultivation, they would burn the crops, confiscate the land, and impose harsh penalties on the farmers, such as fines, imprisonment, flogging, or even execution. The Taliban also used propaganda and persuasion to convince the farmers to obey the ban, claiming that opium poppy was un-Islamic and harmful to the Afghan people and the world. The Taliban's strict enforcement of the ban was very effective, as most farmers complied out of fear or religious duty. However, some farmers resisted the ban and tried to hide their poppy fields or sell their opium stocks in secret markets. The Taliban's opium ban was not only a religious and moral decision, but also a political and strategic one, as they sought to gain international recognition and legitimacy, and to reduce the influence and corruption of their rivals. Before 2021, Taliban used the opium to sell and get the weapons from Iran, but now when they got Afghanistan made it illegal to grow. What do you think of Taliban this action? Let us know in the comment section.